Namaste, I'm your Siddha Sankalp. Today we are going to see a beautiful place on the banks of river Godavari, which is dedicated to Lord Sri Rama, Bhadrachalam. Bhadrachalam is significant for a place known as Amba Satram. Today we are going to see about Amba Satram. Now we are going to talk about a great personality who established Amba Satram. His name is Pamidigantam Venkataramana Dasu Garu. Many years before, nearly 130 or 140 years before, Bhadrachalam was totally covered with thick forest. It was not like it is today, but Lord Rama's temple was there and many pilgrims used to come there since it is a Punyakshetra. They used to walk through the forest, cross the Godavari in a boat, then rested for a night in that place and went to darshan in the morning. During that time, they did not get proper food in the place. Ramanadasu noticed this and thought he can help by serving food for them. But he did not have a single penny in his hand. He just had a loin cloth wrapped around his body. That's it. Then, how will serve food for all of these pilgrims who came there? So he went for alms to the surrounding villages and procured rice and lentils. There was one broken down building nearby. He used that place for cooking. He cooked hot rice, hot lentils, made curd and added pickle. He served it to all the pilgrims who came to the temple. In a few days, many people came to know about this and many pilgrims started coming to the place for food. To serve food for all these people, he started going for alms to even more number of villages. He then appointed 2 cooks and made a kind of deal with them. You can make the cook and I will go for alms, but I cannot pay you for this. But you can have your meals here from what we cook for the pilgrims. So the Annadanam continued like this for some years. After a few more years, he became too old. At the same time, the number of people who visited their place for food also grew to a few thousand. Everybody came to know that they will get great food served with love if they go there. So he somehow managed it the same way. Finally, his health deteriorated too much that he was not able to go for alms. After the stocked up rice is over, the cooks came to him and asked, Swami, we don't have any rice or lentils for tomorrow. How we are going to cook food for tomorrow morning? Ramanadasu replied, if we think we are cooking food, we are feeding the needy, we need to worry. But it is He, means the God, who is making us cook, who is making us serve. Also, it is He who is eating that food in the form of pilgrims. So, He needs to worry about this, otherwise, it is He who is going to suffer from hunger. Why should we bother? Saying this, he sat in front of Sita and Rama and started praying. More than the people who offer prasad to him, God loves the people who serve the food to the needy. God may or may not partake the offer made to him as prasadam, but he surely is pleased when someone feeds the needy. He surely partakes from what is served to them. The next day morning, a zamindar stopped by at his place and asked, are you Venkataramana Dasu? And he replied, yes. Zamindar continued, I am a very rich person. I have so much of money and so many acres of land. Both I and my mother are ardent devotees of Lord Sri Rama. She already reached the lotus feet of Lord. Yesterday night, my mother and Lord Rama came in my dream and they asked me to give half of my wealth to you for the charity you are doing and gave your name and address. The zamindar immediately handed over half of his wealth to him. But the great man, the very first thing he did was to procure what is required to prepare food for that day. Then, in a place of the broken down house where he served food for the pilgrims, he started constructing a big satram. He named it Amba Satram. He named it Amba Satram because every day after he prepared the food, he offered it to first Mother Sita Devi. She is the mother goddess. In the food, if the food is served through the hands of the mother, her children can happily have the food. Since it is a place sanctified with the touch of mother's feet, the place was named Amba Satram. From the time they got that wealth, they started serving even more grandly and they continued doing Annadanam non-stop. Then what happened on one Sri Ram Navami day? It is normally that Bhadrachalam gets crowded with pilgrims for Sri Ram Navami. Obviously, the Satram will also get crowded on that day. Since the next morning is the Sri Ram Navami, Ramanadasu thought to start the preparations very early in the morning, but on that night, thieves broke into Satram and stole all the cooking pots and utensils from the kitchen. Also, the cooks, fearing that they may be held for the theft, left the place without informing anyone. When Ramanadasu woke up early in the morning and saw nothing was happening there, there were no cooks, there were no utensils, nothing. He understood what happened. Now the problem is how to cook and serve thousands of pilgrims who are going to come to the Satram on that day. He went inside the village and inquired if someone can help to cook the food, but no one came forward to help him. At that point, Ramanadasu became anxious. He started to worry, but that time Ramanadasu was sitting in grief in front of Sri Rama's portrait. Morning broke, it is the time for the pilgrims to come. Meanwhile, two young men came. They asked, "Are you Venkatamana Das Garu?" He replied yes and inquired about them. The two young men were very tall, their bodies were extremely glowing and radiant. They had religious marks applied on their forehead, and they said, "We are the cooks. We hear that you are looking for cooks, so we both came here." Nice. And he replied, "Nice, but there is no time. The pilgrims will start coming." They told, you no need to worry. We will do the cooking." And Ramanadasu also said, "There are no utensils for cooking." The young men showed the kitchen utensils, big bowls and big spatulas, etc. that they brought along with them. They asked him to sit and continue his japa without worrying. The young man completed work cooking rice, dal, curd, pickle, etc. The pilgrims who ate food at the Satram that day started to laud the cooks, and they were replying as, "We never ate this tasty food ever in our life. We never tasted such delicious food. It tastes like nectar." Thousands of pilgrims came and ate that day. Ramanadasu did not understand. So he himself took some food to taste. He was too amazed. "It feels like nectar. What a tasty meal." He immediately wanted to thank the two young men who did the cooking. But where to see them now? He searched everywhere for them. He asked everyone if they saw the two young men. They told, "We didn't see anyone. No one came here. We thought that it was cooked by your Satram men." Nobody in these surroundings knew that these two young men came and did the cooking. Ramanadasu did not understand who they could be. When he went to sleep that night, he saw Sri Ram Chandramurti and Lakshmana Swami in his dreams and saw Rama and Lakshmana cooking and serving food to all pilgrims. In the dream, Rama and Lakshmana told, "We left our cooking pots as our mark of visit to your Satram." Ramanadasu saw those two cooking pots in the kitchen. Those two cooking pots are kept in that kitchen even today. This place is exactly 1 kilometer away from the Bhadrachalam Sri Ram Chandramurti temple. Ask anyone where Amba Satram is, they will guide us to that place. The two cooking pots can be seen even today at that place. After Ramanadasu passed away, for many years Amba Satram remained in a broken state. Recently, Sringeri Mutt took over. They reconstructed the building, established a Veda Pathshala, and they are teaching Vedas to the children. They again started serving food at that place. Since it is a place where the holy men lived and decided to cook and serve food to one and all, now at that place, Annadanam is continuing again. So that's all for today. Please visit this mesmerizing and powerful place at Bhadrachalam and do visit the temple. And thank you. Have a nice day.